Hey guys, welcome. Hold on one second. I got an echo. Wait 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think that's it. No, I'll work on that. Give me a second. Good morning. It has been crazy around here, so I'm sorry I'm running a little bit late. But we're going to be doing a live draw here. I've got a couple things up my sleeve that I was given a go ahead that we can talk about today. So I'm excited about that. But first, let's talk about my sponsor. Indian River Roasting Company is in the coffee cup, of course. This is the private blend that they made up for me. We have not came up with a name yet. I've almost got one, so I'm thinking we're thinking there. So we might have that named for next week's show. In any case, yeah. So let's check out what they do. Hold on 1 second. Here at Ted Davies Artistry, we take coffee seriously. And so does our sponsor, Indian River Roasting Company. It's fair trade, organic, and they're artisans just like me. The only difference is I use watercolor and ink and they use coffee beans. And I enjoy it all through my day. So do yourself a favor, go to the description when you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Find Indian River Roasting Company's website, use the promo code CaffeinateTed2021, and save 10% on your purchase. Yeah, so check everything that they've got going on. You can find Indian River Roasting Company, their website under my description, and it'll be IndianRiverRoastingCompany.com. Use Caffeinate TED 2021. Save you 10% when you buy your caffeine, and once we name this one, you'll be able to get that blend as well. It's a Ted Davies Artistry exclusive. So, also, Cashman's Comics. Let's check out what he's doing in Bay City. 25 years in Bay City this year, and they're doing a super sale right now. So hold on 1 second.
Every night and every day I wake up feeling the same way now. Need to find something to believe. Every night the dreams we make, they're haunting my head now.
Yeah, so check everything else that John Cashman's got going over at Cashman's Comics in Bay City, Michigan. Whether you're a novice collector or a seasoned collector like myself, he'll take care of you throughout all your collective needs. Comic books, games, action figures, you name it. So he ships nationwide. So check out everything that John's doing. He's having a huge sale right now to celebrate the 25th year, and check out everything he's doing because he's got a lot going on. CashmansComics.com, and he's awesome. So we are also proud to be affiliated with the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Check out everything that we're doing on this channel. We are a group of creatives that help creatives build their businesses. And Tuesdays are pretty crazy anyway. Here we start out with TED Talks, and we go throughout the day with Clever Title Pending at 8 p.m. And it's a balanced day. Tuesday's really, really nice. But I like Thursdays because it's crazy busy. But Wednesday, we started our new show last week. But this week it's going to be live. It's called The Truth Mongers at 7 p.m. with my co-host, Glenn B. Fleming. Check out what we're talking about this week. It's going to be about the moon mysteries, a lot of different facts around the moon that are really weird. And you might want to check into that because there's a lot of really interesting things. Glenn actually did a couple books about or actually two books, one about the moon and one about the astronauts that didn't go to the moon. And there's really interesting things about that I think you'll enjoy. I think it's a very informative conversation, and I'm going to bring in the conspiracy side of everything. So that's kind of my shtick. So, but we'll look at a common sense approach at it like we always do. But check out what we're doing. Follow us on Rising Tide Broadcast Network Facebook page, and everybody that's on this, I think that's on this page has a YouTube channel. So check it all out. Take a snapshot of it, and please follow us, like and share. That would be great. Okay, so let me get back to my mug here. Behind me, I've got everything set up for an overview on my desk. So what we're going to do is I'm going to keep the microphone on, but we're going to do the overview of my desk probably pretty much through the day or through the hour, I should say. We might run a little bit long. It just depends because I know we got kind of a late start. But we're going to go over a couple of things that they told me that I could talk about. Now I had a little bit of a NDA, non-disclosure agreement, that I couldn't really talk about what was going on. So we're just going to give you a slight share of what's going on with this. But let me switch over the cameras, and then I will maximize that. Okay, you guys can still hear me, I believe. Okay, Donna, Carl, Skunk, what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, so what we're going to do is, first off, let me talk about my books. You can get on my website, Ted Davies Artistry, and since we're drawing, I'm going to bring up some of the books that I offer. Albino Zulu is one of the books that I kind of had a cool run with. There's only one book out now, but the second book's almost done. Good morning, Grant. And we're trying to, I'm going to get that published as well. That's not going to be on Kickstarter. That's just going to be my personal finance. But we'll get that produced or soon. And one of the things about this is a black and white comic. Ironically, Albino Zulu, but it's kids can color this in. There's a lot of really cool things about this. You can buy the digital. You can print it off on your printer at home. The kids can. I want something that the kids could be part of, getting them into comics, getting them to read comics, get them to possibly create them. But this is offered in book form, but it's black and white, so the kids can color it in. And we kind of have a virtual refrigerator too that we put on their pictures of what they did and show us what they like about Albino Zulu. Albino Zulu is a pretty easy story. It's about an alien that lands, that's been left here on the planet, and a Zulu tribesman, the chief, actually finds him and raises him. And the technology that they have that is very secretive, and it's a fascinating look into kind of 007 meets Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So it's a lot of fun, and Albino Zulu, check that out. We also have my book Retrieve, which is currently in script for option right now. We're going to be going out to California here soon to meet with a few people to get that taken care of, hopefully. But right now it's being optioned, so the treatments are being done right now. Book 3 will be out soon. I'm assuming it's going to be by the end of the year. We've got a lot going on right now with Grim 101, as you guys all know. Thanks to you for supporting that, if you have. Bocas. This is actually, these are just some of the cover arts that I've done. But I do sell them. I have got all these books on hand, so if you would like to purchase them, just get a hold of me, message me, and via email, teddaviesdesign@gmail.com, or message me on Facebook if you follow me, or comment on this on YouTube. And then we also have, this is a little bit more mature, but this is Spacey, I believe it's a ghost that's in a spacesuit, but I did the cover for this for Jake Estrada. And I know it's a little bit racy with the middle finger sticking up, but that's Spacey. He is very racy. So check out that one too. That's been a really good seller for us as well. And again, I have all these in stock at Ted Davies Artistry. Just get a hold of me and I will send them out. Okay, so today, let's see what we got here. I actually had a phone call last night that we can, I can announce slightly, a little bit of a teaser. So what's going on is there's going to be some trading cards that are going to be offered by a very prominent publisher that we all enjoy. Charles Millhouse has got a few things going on right now with Pulp Reality, which I've been very, very proud to be part of. And he has just been awesome. And I got an email from Jeffrey Hayes that we're going to be doing a series of trading cards. And I don't know if it's going to be a Captain Hawkland's book or what it is, but I don't want to give too much of it away. But basically, I'm going to be doing 2 trading cards out of the 10 or 12 that are going to be offered. And we're going to be talking about that today. I'm going to go through my thought processes of what I do, of how I come up with the ideas once they send me things like an email and that kind of thing, and what I come up with how I design the ideas literally from the script or from the lines that they give me, the ideas, the text, and then we go from there. Also, I don't know if you guys saw that. I think you guys saw that. I just threw that out too. Been doing a lot of watercolor with superheroes lately. So Hulk's been a big one this last couple weeks. But okay, I digress. Let me get the microphone set up here. Let's see, I've got some water. I'm going to probably end up doing a little bit of gray tones on watercolor today. So let me add some water to that. Okay, get a drink of water. So the character that I'm going to be working on is called Oz Lyman. And I don't know exactly the whole backstory on him. I've got a few lines, but nothing I have really gone over. More so, it was for direction, for design, for the costume and that. And the one main thing that Oz is got going for him is he looks like a young Borgnine, Ernest Borgnine. And I don't know if you guys know him or not, but you can always Google him. He's passed now, but he's been in a lot of different things. The last movie I saw him in was in Red. He was the file keeper down in the way down basement, way down. And Bruce Willis had to go find a filing cabinet, and that's what Ernest Borgnine did. He was in this basically this vault where he where he had a filing cabinet that he basically he was a file keeper. It was a great show though. I really like that. Ryan, that's one movie I'd recommend is Red. Good morning, sir. I'm drinking some coffee. Okay, so basically, Oz Lyman in the story is very much he's got a flying pack, kind of like Skyman, or like Rocketeer. I don't want to make him into either one of those. He's going to be he's a mechanic. He's got he's just a basic guy, but he's got a lot of really cool gadgets. And yeah, so I'm trying to sketch. I don't know if you guys can see this pretty well. I'm trying to, just trying to see the overall idea, kind of steampunky. I don't know. I'm just trying to get some ideas. I think that, Ernest Borgnine was not a small guy. He was kind of a very chunky guy. In even the younger version, he was kind of chunky. So I don't know if it was. I remember him older. I mean, I used to see him in the Waltons. He was on the show, I think, all through the 70s. He was in Airwolf, wasn't he? If I'm not mistaken. Maybe he wasn't. I can't remember now if he was. But anyway, I really like I liked him as a character actor. I guess he was quite the ladies' man from what I was reading about him. I don't see the quite the attraction there, but hey, to each their own. But he was a good actor. I really liked him. And I wanted to some of the characteristics. His teeth. He's had a very prominent space in the middle of his top teeth, and I wanted to mimic that somewhere. But in that, I'm going to be doing two cards. One is going to be what they call an air. I guess it's going to be in the sky, an air adventure piece, which that's what this is going to be kind of about. Like I said, I'm working with my ideas right now, just kind of sketching it out. We're going to go through that today. And then we're just going to see what transpires. I've got a couple different things here. I don't know if these are airplanes. I don't know if you guys can see this on screen or not. I'm trying to, I'm kind of turning here. I'm looking at my laptop, listening or watching your comments and everything. But if you can't see it, I'll bring it up a little bit closer. I'm just trying to get it. This isn't in any proportion or anything. It's kind of like stream of consciousness. When I write, I just write out what I'm thinking. It's the same thing goes with drawing. So it doesn't really matter. There's not really any rhyme or reason on the page. I just draw. So I'm just trying to get an idea of placement of how I want to run the lines, how I want to draw the perspective, how I want your eye to follow down the line. Do I want him as a victim? Do I want him as an aggressive part of the picture? There's a couple different ways. Do I want him to even look like this? I mean, that's, I'm going through these, I'm looking at them kind of critically, because once I get into the drawings, is he looking too much like Frankenstein? Is he looking too much like Bela Lugosi here? Is he looking like he's a crazed welder here? I mean, what am I trying to come up with? I know he's not a very, in the description, he's a thin demeanor. So this is too bulky. So this is, and even I go through this. So, I mean, it's something that don't Don't write yourself off, and don't, have an erase. Always keep an eraser by you, but don't feel like you've got to. You can make mistakes. You can see this one's got the space in his teeth. This one too. Um, but just figure out what you're comfortable with that. Let me see if I got one back here or not. So again, I was trying to find something to where it's kind of falling into place a little bit. I'm going to end up using an ebony pencil here, an HB, just so because of the lines here. I usually don't go this dark on it because of because of the visuals here that we're trying to accomplish here. I think that's probably better. Let's see. Oh yeah, Poseidon Adventure. Absolutely. I forgot about that one. I never liked that movie. Maybe that's why we never went on cruises as a kid. But that was a freaky movie. The sets were incredible though for back then. So on some of this though, on the Hawkland character, one nice thing that they're going to do is they're giving us kind of free reign a little bit with what the artists are going to be doing. Certain, my style's a little bit different, but if we get I just really just want to get a character reference. I want to get a kind of a character idea of what this guy's going to look like. And the problem that I'm having is that I'm still thinking Borgnine is a chubby older man, and this character's not. So he's a younger version of Borgnine. So I've been looking up online on a few different things, and I mean, I usually what I'll do is I'll start out with shapes. So I think what we'll do today is we'll just work on just placement for character design. I think that might be the best way to do it. And when I do that, I work with just simple lines. I'm not going to do anything too crazy. Since he's thinner, we're going to bring in that. We'll make his head a little bit, obviously a little bit bigger, but maybe more round than what I had originally. I am going to put goggles on him, though, just from the standpoint. I think what we'll do, I'm going to do an aviator hat like Snoopy had, too. Not to make him look weird, but I think that might be something good. I think that might be a fun thing. Because if he's got this suit on, I'm thinking that's probably, or this jetpack on, he's probably going to want to have a helmet on. I think you guys would probably agree. And if you don't, then just keep quiet. I hope everybody's having a good day. It is Tuesday, and we are drawing, so I'm got to get that space in there. I don't know. I know he had that dimpled chin too, didn't he? So maybe we'll add that, maybe some whiskers on there. I don't know. We're just going to kind of see. And I'm working on an angle here, so bear with me. I'm going to probably pull this mic up a little bit better. I don't know if he was in Cool Hand Luke either. Like I said, I'm looking back at the screen, so bear with me, guys. I'm just going to kind of go back and forth. If I miss your comments, just don't write me off. Okay. You guys hear me okay? Yeah, just let me know. I'm sorry I can't have any music on right now, but I'm trying to. I don't really have any rights to any music. I could probably play some of the stuff that my buddy Chris let us use for our book intros, but maybe if I just draw and just shut up so you guys can look at what I'm doing here. Yeah, there we go. I like that. And again, the cards are going to be, let's see what I've got here. The cards are going to be like 2x3. This is larger. This is 4x6, but I'm going to probably end up, I don't know if you can see that, 4x6. The cards are going to be half this size. They're going to be about that size. So, but I might end up doing a larger, I might even do it larger than this. We're going to kind of sketch it out. I'm going to get some tones on this in a minute once I find out how I'm going to have his helmet and everything else on this. I want to get some neutral tones from the watercolor on there so we get some shading. But, and I think what I'm due, I was going to put a cigar in his mouth, but I just think it's a cliche with me with cigars since we have a cigar show and everything else. I just figured we'd just do a cigarette for that era. It's set, if I'm not mistaken, it's set in the 50s or 40s. I'm not sure, but we'll see how that goes. That's just something that'll fall into place. I think that there's I don't know. I kind of like this, though. This is working out pretty good. We'll see if this comes together. You guys can see it okay? Looks like it's showing up on the screen all right. Okay. And I think maybe, of course, we'll have we should probably, I would think, we'll have a scarf. Why not? I mean, he might not be a scarf wearer. I don't know. We'll talk about that. I know that Carl and all, or that Jeff and Charles will probably have their input on it, which they should. But yeah, it was quite nice of them asking me. I was very honored that they very humbled that they asked me to do one of my pieces on a trading card, collector's card. That was very nice of them, I thought. But yeah, I think that might work. I'm going to put a bigger space between his teeth, though. We'll use some shadow here. I'm going to end up filling that in. Probably, I'm not going to do. I'm not doing watercolor on this because this is just a sketch pad. But yeah, I think I'll do that on probably this card. It's going to be a little bit different, but I'll see if the tones. We'll see how it goes. I've got markers, but I don't have any gray markers. I've got watercolor markers, and let's see. We'll see what it looks like on this. Maybe there's a way I can do it where it doesn't bleed through and doesn't mess up the paper too badly. Because I like to see if I can do a tonal. I usually do a tonal study on each of the ones just to see what it comes out with, depending on who it is. I mean, I've got some things I'm under the gun time wise, and I can't do that. But since I'm doing these and they're going to be collector series, I figured, hey, why not? Okay, so we got that, and I think that we'll have probably. I don't want, like I said, I don't want it to look too much like the Rocketeer. I think that'll be too much. Put the little controller here because he needs that for the jetpack that's going to be on his back here in a minute. Not the jet, I think it is jetpack, but we'll see. And again, I didn't know they had that kind of technology back then, but we'll see. See what he's got. He's a little bit I don't know if he's I'm assuming he's a tinkerer, but I don't know if what his complete background is. But we might as well have some fun with it. Like I said, I don't want to have it make it look like it's too much like the Rocketeer. I think that might be bad. I don't want to take away from the character, and I don't want to take away from the Rocketeer either, because it's been such an iconic piece. I know that. Let's see what we got here. I know that Brian's got the Skyman thing too, and I don't want to take too much from that. And these are just ideas. Like I said, this is going to be kind of his arm's a little bit awkward there, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. We might end up putting 2 controllers on here, maybe. I don't know. We'll see if that works. But I think that might work. It looks awkward, and I kind of dig that. So, okay. So we'll get some ideas on that. He's not a very big guy either, from what I heard. So I don't know. I'm going to kind of think he's kind of a little bit clumsy. I think that's kind of the fun part of it. If he is kind of clumsy, even better. He's trying to save the world in his clumsiness. Okay, so that might be an idea. Okay, so I think that's going to be one of the styles that I like with him. I'm going to try this with some of the lighter tones on the gray, just for grins and giggles. Let's see what we got here. It starts bleeding in through the paper, then we'll stop it. Let me take 2 or 3 pieces here. There you go. And these tonal, once I add color to it, it'll look a lot better. But these tonals are just to give it some depth. And like I said, this is just a sketch. This is just trying to get a feel for the overall feeling of the character itself. Probably end up putting some wires down to here, I would think. Kind of homemade rockets. A little dangerous, but maybe a good couple of rivets, maybe. Like I said, these are just for ideas, for concept. We'll see what it comes out with that. But okay. And sometimes I'll add, even further shadows on this. This is just a quick rundown, but it gives you an idea for layering of it all. It's drying out a bit. I thought about putting gloves on him, like longer gloves, kind of like welding gloves. I don't know if we'll do that yet, but we'll see how it goes. Since he's a mechanic by trade, from what the breakdown said, that's going to be, I'll kind of just see what happens here. Okay, that's kind of cool looking, I think. That might work. What's up, John? How you doing? All right, so we'll get some ideas on that. Okay, I think that might be too dark. Let's see what else I got here. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry, I should have been a little bit more organized today. Just bear with me. Okay. Yeah, I think that might work. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I don't know if that's orange. That's going to work. I'm going to do a little bit lighter. I'll do it lighter. This is going to be orange, but I'm going to change this up a bit. I'm just trying to get some feel for the hat and some of the lines. I'm going to throw some brown in here, I think. He's got a baseball cap is what the breakdown said, and I'm just not, I don't know. I guess there's certain things, but I think that there's always room for, artist interpretation. So we'll see how that works. But I'm just trying to see if there's going to be a little brown, I know, in that, because it's obviously an old leather. It's kind of like the old leather caps that they used to wear for football. I'll use a little brown here. Might be, and like I said, this is just concept. This is just to see if maybe there's something we can come up with that might work. And this isn't really the paper for watercolor, obviously. So I'm doing this kind of just to get a feel for the layering of it all. Okay. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but let's see. I'm going to blend those. This is where it could probably bubble up if I don't do it right, because the paper's not thick enough, I don't think, but we'll try it. Yeah, it's not going to work. But okay, anyway, but you get an idea for that. We'll change that out when we're on the watercolor side of it. That's not going to work. So it's just paper's too thin. But that's okay. I'll work on that when I'm looking at it a little bit later. So with that, since we're kind of getting a feel for the overall, I'm going to end up probably, I don't know if I'm going to have this collar up or down. I'm not sure yet how we're going to do that, but that's going to probably be the thing. And I'm thinking what I want to do is I want to bring in a pretty good size airplane behind it, almost like he's, I don't know if he's playing tag with the airplane or what yet, but we're going to see if that's going to be kind of his thing. But I think that that's going to be probably the way I'm going to work this character on this particular one. We're going to see how this all works out, and I'm going to add shading, obviously the blue to it. So that's one thing. I think that might work. I don't know if I'm going to use the goggles though, or because I don't know if I'm going to go back and forth. I like the goggle look versus this one because I think this one it's almost too aviator. I think that might be the way to go. So I might change that up. And if I do, and you guys are gonna feel I'm messing this up, but I think I'm gonna do it this way. I think I'm gonna do it that way. What's going on, Eric? How you doing? Eric, I mean, you get the idea. I'm just trying to get some concepts for the overall. There's not going to be much that I can do with this that's on this paper. But like I said, there's a lot of, once I get it on the watercolor paper, I have more control of it. I can do more illustration work on it. And these, this is, like I said, this paper it's a sketch thing. So it's kind of bad because it's frustrating for artists sometimes. I think if we don't get the right medium that we like, or that there's a saying that the art gets away from you. And sometimes that can be a real pain in the butt because we're trying so hard to control, especially in watercolor. It's a pain in the ass. Digitally, it's a whole nother ball game because you have more control of it, I think, even though you get a different result. But and everybody that knows my work, I'm big into shading. So this is just an idea for placement and concept. But it does two things for me. The first thing it does is it gives me a point of reference to where I'm that way. And when I'm drawing, it's almost like muscle memory. I'll know, okay, I'm going to be doing this. I know I have to make this line here, and I've got to shade this way because this is the way we did it in the other one. And then if I make a mistake on a traditional piece, I can always go back on the newer one and fix it. So, but the biggest thing is don't be afraid of what you're working with. Don't feel like that. I don't like that saying that the art gets away from you because sometimes it's just the art knows what it wants. I mean, people don't, and it's corny to say, but it does. It's the truth. When you do have some control over a lot of the stuff, but these look like nunchucks, but they're really controllers for his jet pack. So, but you're you have the control over it, even though the art will tell you what it wants to do. So just don't be afraid of it. That's all. And a lot of people get, oh God, I'm frustrated. I can't draw. I'm never going to be able to be like him or her or whatever. And it's like, you know what? Just do it. Get it down on paper. You're going to inspire somebody down the line. You might as well be, doing something that you enjoy versus inspiring for the wrong reasons. So, okay. Okay, and like I said, this is just real quick, just to get a feel for the lines. Okay, he's got this huge airplane behind him that's going to give him an enema real quick if he's not careful. And then we'll figure out the lines on that. I don't know if it's a biplane or what we're going to do yet, but it might be a biplane. I have to kind of go over that again because I'm not sure what exactly they're going to mandate on the year and all that other stuff, but we'll see how that goes. So, and then what I usually do is I'll end up adding my shading accordingly. I'll probably like black out the pants. I use a lot of Sharpies when I'm sketching too, just to get a feel for what's going on with the character. And anybody who knows me knows the contrast on my drawings. I've got a ton of contrast. Everybody knows that, but yeah. So maybe we'll put them with some fishnets. Could be interesting in the air. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Let's keep it PG. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot to be said about being live drawing because you're part instructor, part salesman, right? So, and it's yeah, I'm almost wanting this guy to be like almost on the edge of like dangerous to himself. I think that would be hysterical. Charles, I hope you're listening. Because if this is this would be really, really funny if he is just almost like the not the Nutty Professor, but that kind of mindset to where he's very he's almost dangerous to the general public. But he's got his heart in the right place, you know. That could be really, really funny. But yeah, you know what the character's like, Charles. I don't. So give you an idea here. Okay. So that kind of, I think that might be the ticket on that one. I think what we're going to do is we're kind of work with that on that smaller scale. And I like working on smaller scale stuff too. This type of page, when I'm doing art, when I'm just sketching out things, it's nice you have a little bit more control on and using less medium, less paper, less ink. If it's traditional, like I said, yeah. And there's a lot of things that you can kind of experiment. And if you mess it up, okay, great. You know what? It's got another side. I usually don't use that side because it's different with watercolor paper, but I've got plenty of watercolor paper. And in this format, it's easy enough to where, you know, you're not using too much medium. So, yeah. So, yeah, that arm looks awkward, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. We've all been there. We've all torqued our arms that way, right? So we've all been up in the sky, I'm sure, doing this. So I'll work on that. I'll look at some perspectives and different things that other people have had. One of the things too is I try to have as much flame work as possible. Whenever you can do it, it's got to be a lot of smoke and flame. So I don't know. We'll see how that plans out. I did on a couple of these other sketches. On this one here, I don't know if you guys can see it or not. There's a lot of whippoorwills in the background and trying to make it look like he's flying. You know, he's been actually spinning through the air as this thing's coming down after him. And so I don't know. There's a lot of things that I'm going to be working on with the lines and just to see. I like this because this is kind of it's like he's having the airplane follow him, and I don't know, maybe there's some other things that might coincide with the story that he's trying to get it away from the people or something like that. So I don't know, that might be something that might be kind of fun. That type of perspective. I don't know, but and that's why I like using the sketch pads. This actually was gifted to me by my brother-in-law. Didn't cost me a dime, so I like using them. That way I can go back and it's a study. And then if people want it, of course, they can always buy it. I'm not a big fan of selling these for big money because it's, you know, it's a thought process for me, right? But yeah, so it gives you an idea. So I kind of like that. I kind of like the Snoopy aspect of that. The Snoopy Red Baron hat kind of thing. I love the tin can do-it-yourself or jetpacks. I think that might be kind of cool. I don't know. But and then we'll figure out the airplane here in the background, figure out exactly what's inspiring or conspiring with the airplane and what exactly who's going after them and if it's Nazis or whatever. So we'll figure it out. But and at what time frame it was, I didn't recall. I forgot the email now what they said. But okay, so that's kind of cool. I'm gonna leave that there. There's two. So that was the action scene. The other scene. Okay, so let's talk about the character. So the character, I usually do if you want to call it a profile piece. I won't do it on this page. I'll just go right to this. Because where are we at right now? Yeah, God, it's already 43 minutes. Time flies when I'm doing this stuff. Yeah, he probably would land and tip his hat to the ladies. When I'm doing the other, just the portrait, I think that there's two shots. There's going to be one portrait and then one action. And when I do the portrait shots, I try to I try to put them in a, not a regal stance per se, but something that's going to be intriguing to the it kind of, back in the 70s, you guys remember the where they would have the two shots that would actually melt in. You'd have the main shot, and then you have the kid's face tipped up, or something that would look, it kind of looked cheesy, but we all went through it. I had pictures. My sister and I, it was I think it was J.C. Penney's or Crowley's or something. They made us do that to where we got it was just lame. It was just so lame. But my mom and dad liked it, so whatever. I don't know. It was just a really, they were so, I don't know if they had, because they had to fill in the 20 shots or whatever for the package or whatever package deal. But I always thought, and now you look back, SNL does some really funny skits on that, or you see people that have done that on was it SGTV or SCTV? They've done a few skits on that, but this one is going to be kind of along those lines in that regard, but it'll be fun. And this will be his regal pose. I'm seeing him. I know he's going to be a little bit fuller faced later in life, but right now I think he's just going to be a standard, what we call goober, at least what I call goober. And I try to keep the other drawing up just so that we've got some reference points. But yeah, so hope you guys are having a good day. The weather's kind of good here on the lake, but it was hot yesterday, man, too hot. Victor had a lot, or Ernest Borgnine had a lot of curly hair when he was younger. Hey, Charles. Hey, I was telling everybody about you giving me the okay for the non-disclosure agreement thing. So you can kind of chime in. We were just kind of throwing around some ideas with the helmet. I know that we were talking about in the description, and this is where, when we collaborate, this is how I usually do things anyway. Anybody knows anything about me when I collaborate, Carl and Donna know because I've done work for them. Clyde knows. I don't know if he's on today, but and Grant, we go back and forth. So I mean, there's some kind of carte blanche, but we try to, or have, I have got some type of range, I guess. But like, I know that this character usually wears a ball cap. I'm just thinking if he's in flight, I might suggest something of a Snoopy cap or something. So, hey, Glenn, how you doing? So yeah, Charles, whatever, you can pipe in if you want to, if you have time. But and then going back to the portrait, I try to have it so that we get as close to the suggestion as possible from what the client, if you want to call him that, wants. This guy's looking kind of scary. I'm gonna have to tone that down a bit. But let's see. And in the description too, I guess he wears a type of mechanic shirt. He's not a very big guy, like I said. He's kind of, he's just kind of a regular Joe Lunchbox type of guy. And he wears a lot of sounds like a mechanic shirt, like what I usually wear on my shows, the 50s style shirts. So let's make it kind of easy. Maybe a little bit like that. Maybe I'll shorten that jaw up a bit so he doesn't look so muppety. But again, these are just, I'm just trying to get an idea. I'm not going to probably end up submitting this one. This is just an idea for placement, proportions, teeth. You know, the biggest thing with Ernest, I always noticed was that space, and I don't want him to look like he's like completely bucktooth. But once I get the colors on him, and then I think he'll be better. But and again, there might be something, I might broaden the eyes a bit. I might take this down. I might end up having him have straight hair. On one of the other sketches, I had him have actually straight hair, which I don't think looked too bad, but it looked like he was flying. And when he's flying, it's great. But in something like this, it might look kind of weird. So we'll have to see how that goes. But and then I might turn his head a little bit more on the finished product. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. There's a lot of things that you can do with this, and you can play with the layout. We'll make him a left-hander, or a right-hander, so he wears his watch on his left hand. And then he has a mechanic shirt, but there's no label on it. There's no name, I don't think. But you know what? I think I'm gonna straighten his hair a bit. Let's make him look a little bit more 50s. I don't know. I'll see. Maybe we can change it up. We'll see what happens with it. I don't want it to look too Elvis-y, but we'll see. There's ways that we can do it to where he's looking better. So I'm gonna thin those eyebrows out. Those things are scaring me. Maybe make his nose a little bit smaller, his teeth a little bit smaller, but sharpen this pencil. But I'm gonna look at comments where we're here. Oz is the comedy relief. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, and I think if you got him like the crazy professor a little bit with the jetpack, I think that's hilarious. And it is set in the 1930s. So I think and we might do a biplane. I mean, this is before before any of the yeah, it must have been the biplanes were in the 30s, right? So it was before single wing. So I'll look into that more. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that we want to when we're looking at the development of characters. There's all kinds of things, and it depends on what Carl wants to, of course. Whoever the client is, I work with whoever they are to get the best that they can for for the needs that they want. But yeah, so but yeah, we'll just kind of see how this goes. I'll probably cut this off in about an hour. But I don't know if he has a mustache or not. And I leave room for those type of things because changes happen. I mean, that's part of development. When we're working with character development, I try to have it so that we've got, it looks like he's got rabbit teeth. I leave it so that there's room, so we can evolve a little bit on it. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. And it's hard when you're on camera too. I'm trying to do both, trying to show you how I work with it. And then, when I'm quiet here, I can do a little bit more too with them, not trying to be too distracted. So, but we will see once I get down to it and I get some color layout in this and we get it figured out, it'll be better. But I'll see how that works. But the comedy release side of it, I think that's fitting, especially with the yeah, I think that might work fine. Like I said, once I get the lines on this and I can really see it and see what he's got going with his hair and everything, we'll see what that's all about. But gives you at least an idea for proportions. Oh, really? The first monoplane? Wow, Glenn. You're a wealth of knowledge, bro. All right, so yeah, Charles, let me know if you want the biplane behind him, or I think the biplane would be better. If we got a biplane back there, let's see. If we put two lines, I don't know. I kind of like that better. I don't know. Maybe the triplanes. I don't know. Something. I think that looks kind of cool. But we'll talk about that. There's all kinds of stuff we can do on that, and I'll work with the character. There's 10 cards or 12 cards on this, Charles, if you're still on. I think that there's 10, but there might be 12. But yeah, when he's ready to release all this is going to be a blast. This is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of people are going to be happy once all these lines are drawn on these cards. They're collector, and hey, that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's going to be a good project. But yeah, I'll work on this further. And again, I might take it down. I don't even know. I've got a couple things, couple other different perspectives I want to maybe have with this. And we will see it. It won't look as scary once the lines and the color are in, but there's there's something to work with here. Maybe we will have his hair a little bit jagged, like he just got out of the air, off of the air. Maybe that might work too. Yeah, maybe that might work. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. And then we'll add some tones to this and make it look a little bit more presentable, so his parents can be proud. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much 12 cards. There you go. So there's some really mad artists in it. Some really, really good. There's going to be some great work that come out of this. I'm very humbled to be part of that group. So thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. What I'll do is I'll do some tonal work. I don't do any, I won't do any ink line work until later. So what I'll do is, since this is in watercolor, I'll finish up the run here. I'll add a little bit of gray, and I usually use these markers I'm using up, but I'm doing a couple of different things with these markers, but what I'll do is I'll end up, you guys have seen me do this, well, I'll blend this down, and then we'll get a feel for the way that the lines are on his face, and then we'll add pigment to it and make it look really the way it should look. And again, on the finished product, there'll be more detail, but it's just right now I'm just trying to get a feel for what we're looking at here. Let's get that blender where I put it. Oh, I got to stand up. Let me get that blender. And these tonals are just that. They're just to give it, so when I add pigment to it, it'll bring out that a little bit darker space to where I had the grays. So that's all. And I think you guys see that in a lot of my work. You kind of see the whole, what I'm trying to accomplish, and it softens the line a bit. And then I'll bring in the rest of my colors, and yeah, we'll see what that looks like once it's all said and done. I'll finish off his hand too, so it doesn't look like he's got just a big blob. Soften that ear up too. He looks like an all-American guy, I think. But yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it. You get the. Does he have? I think he's got dark hair too, but yeah, but there's all kinds of stuff you guys can do with this. I mean, just work with what you've got. I mean, if you've got watercolor, if you want to try to work with watercolor, do it. If you don't feel comfortable with watercolor, because it is a medium that's will bite you in the butt if you're not careful. These markers are really nice. These ones are SPREEY, very affordable on Amazon. And again, you can get whatever you want, Coptic markers, whatever. But I just get something that's going to be cost effective. Then I have a little bit of control, and it's just a nicer way for me to control the watercolor. Because what I'm saying, that watercolor is not an easy medium. It's a very difficult medium. It can be very hard to work with, and I suggest you try it out because it's a lot of fun. And when you do have some control over it, it's actually, that's the beauty of it, because you don't have control over it. A lot of people think we got a lot of control over a lot of things, but watercolor is not one of them. So, but yeah, I'll add to this as I go, and I'm going to see too what was in that era. Maybe there's a pattern or something I can add to this shirt very lightly. There might be something that I look at that I might like. There might be something that's, hey, that might look really cool on this. Not like a Hawaiian shirt or anything, but not like the crazy stuff I wear, but might be something. I think he's probably got dark hair, so we're probably going to go with that. And I like the fact that he looks like he just took his hat off when he was flying around. But we can talk about that too, Carl. Just let me know, or Charles, let me know, and I'll add some ink to that. So, and that should broaden it up too, so he doesn't look too scary. Once I get some ink in there, and I can lighten it up a bit. I know I'm preaching the choir a lot. Glenn knows a hell of a lot more about illustration than I do, and Glenn's an amazing, amazing artist. If you guys haven't seen his work, check it out. He is phenomenal, just phenomenal. Yeah, I'll work on that in a bit so you guys don't have to get bored. But yeah, it's an idea. So I appreciate you guys stopping in. We don't get to do too much of this. I'm probably going to do a little bit more of this type of stuff on TED Talks, because I've got a lot of work that's coming in. I'm going to have to get kind of on it because I've got so many other things happening right now, and I want to make sure that I'm keeping up with everything, because it's we're going to be running a couple more Kickstarters. I'm going to be traveling here to get a few things done with in California. I've got a lot going on, so, and I want to make sure that I've got time to show you guys what I do, but also how we make it work. So, but yeah, so that's basically it on a quick sketch. That's basically how I work. So these are not going to be the Mona Lisa. These are just going to be an idea for placements, for placement of my artwork. And there we go. Okay. So, but yeah, you've got to, there's a lot of things that you guys can do. If you've got a client that's, that you're not afraid to do the work, but you're experimenting. I mean, try it. I mean, try new things with it. When you're trying to draw, when you're trying to implement different mediums, watercolor, pastel, whatever. I mean, crayons even. Go for it. Don't be afraid of it, because I think that you lose if your client's okay with it. Don't worry, Charles. I'm not going to use crayon on this, but I'm saying that if your client's good with it, experiment a little bit, because I think that you might find out that your art turns into something that you didn't think was there or that was possible in a good way. But yeah, there's so much you can do. I'm glad you guys at least stopped in. We're going to try to, like I said, we're going to do a TED Talks probably. I'm thinking probably this month we're probably going to be doing all of them as live draws, because I've got some other stuff that I've got coming up for Grimm 101 that I want to get out, and Retrieve 3. And I think you guys are going to be really interested in that. And I'm glad that Charles let me have a couple minutes with you on this, because I think this is going to be the whole card series is going to be awesome. Once I get color on this, you guys will see a little bit better exactly what I'm trying to do. And like I said, it's just kind of a quick rundown of what the process, Ted's process of how he draws and how he thinks. And you don't want much of that, more than an hour of that. Let me tell you, you can ask Christine. But yeah. So hopefully you guys get a feel for what we're doing here. this week I've got, we got Truth Mongers tomorrow night. We're going to be talking about the moon and its mysteries. Thursday, I'm not quite sure yet. I've got two things that I'm in the works with the watches. And again, those are just quick, 20-minute blurps. But I've got a couple ideas on a watch that I'm going to be, I haven't presented yet. But I don't know if I can get everything done by the time Thursday rolls around. So you might see the watch, but it might not be completed. So, and that might be okay too. But then on Friday, we don't know what we're doing yet. We've been going around. If you guys have any suggestions, there's a couple things that Christine and I have been talking about doing. It might involve a watermelon drink because we have a lot of watermelon here for whatever reason. I think because of the holidays. Just we have a lot growing in the garden too. So, but yeah, the watermelon for some reason sounds good this week. So we're looking into that. So if you guys have any suggestions, message me, and maybe we'll present it. We never know, but it'll be fun no matter what. Well, I'm sure that we'll figure out something tonight and then post it for Friday. But it'll be good. It'll be good regardless. I'm just looking at my calendar here. I think that's pretty much it. So we got a lot going on this week. Grim 101 giving an update. Everything is being sent to the printers for proofing this week. And I've got all the backside story with ISBNs and all that fun stuff. And that's all being rectified this week. That'll be all taken care of. So we're still looking at August, mid-August, late August to have everything sent out. So it's just, it's like I said, it'll be all in August. It'll be sent out, and we'll keep track of everything so you guys know what's transpiring. So, it's all come together. So I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you guys this week on the Truth Mongers and all that other stuff. It is going to be live tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Glenn's going to be there. Obviously, it's going to be a great time. And I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. The conspiracy side of it's always intriguing for me. So I had fun doing it. So yeah, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, we'll do another TED Talks live next week, or live draw. TED Talks live draw, and I'll bring in a couple other things. But as I said, we're going to be working on this, and I appreciate you guys stopping in. So thanks again. No envy, no fear. Make sure that you guys are doing something good for somebody today, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again for stopping in. Have some fun. Do something good for somebody else every day if you can. So if I can find, there we go. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again. Bye.